Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and what we're going to make today is a little expandable folder, and it'll be an expandable pocket that will go behind our signature in our journal. I haven't made one like this before, and I haven't put one in my journal before, but I got to thinking, normally I put extra ephemera in all of my journals that I sell, and I usually just include them in a little bag of some kind. And I thought, well, if I put an expandable in the back, I can put all of those little extra pieces of ephemera in there. And then if the person wants to take it with them and craft on the go, or, take it on vacation or whatever, they've got their ephemera in there. So it's going to be a little expandable one that has a closure on it so that nothing will fall out, and it will go behind this signature. So when I put this signature in my journal, I'll have the signature here, and then I'll have my expandable behind it. Okay, now I'm going to use a file folder. This is the craft ones that we have. You can use a regular file folder and an old used file folder. You can use 2 pieces of paper, 1 piece of paper. I'll tell you the measurements so you can cut it the size that you need. All right, the first thing that we're going to do, now this is just a standard letter size file folder, 8.5 by 11 in the US. Don't know what size it would be in the other parts of the world. So what we're going to do is the front part of this right here. From this fold, the factory fold up, we're going to cut it down to 5 1/4. Because that's as tall as we want it to be, because our signature is just 5 1/2, and we don't want it to be wider than our signature. Now let me find my quarter on here. Right there. And I'm just going to cut this front part off. Don't cut the back part off. Okay. And save that. We'll be using that later. Let's see. Now while I'm here, and while I have my trimmer out, I should have kept my trimmer out, I'm going to go ahead and trim this little tab off right here, because I really don't need that tab on there for my closure. So we're just going to take the top, take it off. See, I want to save that little piece. I could cut that into a couple of tabs, so I'll save it. Are we crazy or what? We're crazy. Now we're going to leave this back on, because that's going to end up being our fold over to close this. So this is 5 1/4. This is just your regular size. I think it is, looks like 11. Our standard ones are 11 1/2. So 11 1/2 by 5 1/4 for the front part. And then the back is just left as is, other than cutting that little tab off. Okay, we're going to grab our scoreboard here. And I'm going to put this side in first. I'm going to have to score this in a couple of different ways, so I will let you know what we're doing. On the side that you cut off, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Whoops. I'm trying not to let it slip, Edith. 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to go as far as I can go on my scoreboard. 1 inch. 1 1/2 inch, and then 2. Okay, that's every 1/2 inch. Then let's see if I can. I'm going to have to turn it around, so I'm just going to flip it over. They're going to fold different ways, so it's not going to matter. On the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inch, and 2. Okay, so that is your scores right there. So 1/2 inch on each side up until you get to your 2 inch mark. Now what we need to do now is I need to decide where I want to fold this top over, and I probably should have kept my scoreboard out. I want to have it to fold over where it leaves lots of room up here in case you have something that's a little bit tall. So let's just go ahead and grab the scoreboard out again. I put things up before I need to. Okay, this is 9 inches. So let's see. I think I'll score at I'm thinking, I told you I haven't done one of these before. I'm going to score it at 6 1/4, which will give us plenty of room at the top. And then I'm going to score it again at, let me think. That'll give me 1/2 inch. I think I'll score it again at 7. So we're scoring it at 6 1/4 and then at 7. And that's going to give me a double fold up here at the top. Let's just fold it and look at it and see what it looks like first. This is all made up in my head as we go along. Okay, so we needed one that had a little bit extra room up here because this is going to expand. And I think that will work. That'll expand pretty nice right there. So let's just do that. So 6 1/4 and 7. Now where I made these little score lines right here, I know I'm not going to need all of that. So I'm going to put, I'll tell you what, let's grab my scoreboard out again. I told you I shouldn't have put it away. I'm going to fold that over like that, and I'm going to bring my score lines on out so that I'll have something to cut by. I just want a little cut line. I'm just bringing that last one, that 2-inch one. I'm going to flip this one around so I can get that 2-inch one in the right spot. There we go. So just your 2-inch one, just bring on out to the end because that's where we're going to cut off at. Sorry, this is, I hope I'm not getting it too confusing by pulling my scoreboard back and forth, back and forth. Alrighty, now what you want to do is you want to cut down on that score line and cut all the way down to the top of where that folds. And do that on both sides. See if I can see mine. That would be nice. Okay, I don't think I got that one anywhere near straight, but I'll straighten it up in a minute. And then here we're just going to cut, right now we're just going to cut straight across just to get this little piece off. Okay, and then over here the same thing. Just going to cut straight across to get that piece off of there. There we go. We have it that looks like that. Okay. Now I'm not going to pay any attention to this right now. I'll straighten my sides up and all that when I finish. Right now what we're going to do is do some accordion folding. And I do mine a little bit different than probably most people. I fold all of mine one way and then I do my accordion because that kind of breaks down the fibers and keeps anything from cracking. So see, I've got them all folded in, and now I'll go and I'll fold them back and forth. It just keeps the fibers from cracking and keeps your paper from breaking so bad. Sometimes it'll break anyway, but most of the time it works. And then you're going to press those score lines down really, really well. Okay. And then fold around to the other side and do the same thing. So Miss Brooklyn was absolutely so thrilled on the weekend trip because she was the only kid on the trip. So she got all the attention of the adults. So she could never have been happier. All right, right here where your factory fold comes across, you're going to cut up on this right to where you scored down through here, that 2-inch mark. You're just going to cut up to that 2-inch mark like that. And then you're just going to take a little sliver of that out. That way it'll keep it from being so bulky down here at the end. So I'll show you. All I did was that right there. Just took a little V out of that. And you're going to do that on both sides. And you can do this before you fold. I just find that it's a little bit easier to do it afterwards, because that way I don't have to fold 4 pieces. I just fold 2. Quicker. And I like quicker. Okay. Right, so you've got those that looks like that. You got your little flap up here, looks like that. Now what this is going to do is this is going to go up like this. This one's going to fold up like this. This is going to fold this way. And then this little piece is going to fold up just like that. And then you have your accordion pocket, and it's going to open up nice and wide. Now one other thing that we're going to do that's different, I guess, than most people do the little accordion folders. I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to get that folded in a little bit better there. I'm going to take my little scrap piece that I have here, and I am going to put that little scrap piece and glue it right there, just on these 2 sides. It's just wide enough to glue right there, and that's going to give me, see if I can show you here. That's going to give me a little division down in there, where if I want to put some bigger things back here and smaller things up here, I can. Now, this is not real tall, so you can bring it on up if you want, or if you wanted to, you could just take another file folder and put another piece down in there, or even a piece of paper. We might even take a piece of paper. Why don't we do that? Let me think what paper I have. Right now we need to think about how we want to cover this, because I do want to cover it with some paper, and some paper that's going to match our journal. So I thought about this paper. This is one of our new collections. What do you think? That would be a possibility, don't you think? Right. And this is a possibility. So let's see which one we want to do. I kind of like this one because it's not quite as much, and it doesn't have, this one has kind of a yellow in it, and this one doesn't. So this is from a paper collection. Let me see if I even, we had it last year, and I think I've already used the cover of this, so I'm not real sure what the name of it is. If any of you know the name, you're welcome to leave it in the comments below. The other one that I was talking about using was this one, and this is Floral Couture, die cuts with a V. Nice papers on both of these. So I'm just going to take out a couple of those. I think I'll use those. And I'm going to cover mine before I put everything else in, just because I think it'll be much easier to cover now. Plus, we don't want to glue this together yet because we want to stitch it in our signature. So you would put it down in there, stitch it in your signature here, and then you would close this up. Okay, so don't close anything up yet. Let's go ahead and put our covers on here. So we will, I thought it might be easier if I had it closed, open, but I think this way is going to be better. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I kind of like this brown file folder showing. So I'm going to go right there, and let's see. Right there maybe. So let's cut a couple of pieces that size. Right, for our piece for the inside, I can go ahead and glue it on one of these and then just not glue it to the other one until we have it stitched in. So I'll tell you what size this is, and I may have to cut it down just a little bit. This one's 5 inches, and if I put it right there, I think that'll be okay. It comes up to there. So I think that'll be all right. Now one side of this paper is white and the other side is patterned, and that's okay with me. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to turn the pattern one out. Yeah, 5 inches will be good. So it is 5 by 7 3/8. Something about like that. 7.5 would work. I just have it a little bit narrower. All right, we're going to put that one over there so I don't get it mixed up. And I think I'm going to do this one for the front cover. Okay, and I'm going to ink around mine with Vintage Photo. This does have kind of a shiny finish to it, but if you leave your ink on there and don't wipe it with a paper or anything, it'll dry. It'll be fine. It will be fine. We're going to put it down with our art glitter glue. Now, I've had lots of you that have messaged me and said, it's warm in my area. Art glitter glue, is it shipping again? Well, we don't have any, so it's not shipping to us yet. So as soon as we get it back in stock, as soon as they tell us that we got the go light, then we'll put it back in the store. We just have to wait until they give us permission. So that was one of our agreements, is that we would not ship it in cold weather when we signed the contract with them. Okay. So there is that. Glue down. I like that. Now we can go ahead and flip it over and we'll put our back one on. All right, that one will go there. Okay, there we go. We got that one down. Now for the top, for the flap. Okay, I figured out something else I'm going to do to the top. So I'm going to pull my scoreboard back in here. I am going to put this on a line there. And then I'm going to score at every 1/8 of an inch between those two score lines that I just did. And I'll show you what that does in just a minute. So every 1/8 of an inch, score down there. Then this will be more like a rounded little lid instead of a folded. So it will round more, kind of like one of those expandable file folders. So, and I'm also going to go down a little bit lower than that too, because I want all of that to be able to fold over if we need it to. So I'm going way on down with it. Let's see, one more. And I'll tell you about how far I did that. One more right there. I think that will work. Let's see. And what I do to get these to round, I put something like this in there, and then I just fold it over it and roll it back and forth. And it will round instead of folding. Let me make sure my top's on. So just put that on there and roll that back and forth. And then see, you have a little rounded top instead of a folded top. That way it can expand a lot more, but you don't have those two creases up there. See? I hope you can see that. See how it rounds? Alright, so that should work good on that. I may just put some paper right here and not put any paper up here, because the more paper that you put up here, the less this is going to bend like you want it to. And I don't mind that craft color there. That doesn't bother me. So I did my score lines. I started at 1/2 inch away from the top. And then I just started scoring at every 1/8 of an inch. And I went for 2 inches. So 2 inches of every 1/8 of an inch, and that gives you a round. And you can put a big, like a rolling pin in there, or you can put a big paintbrush in there and just roll it back and forth, and it will eventually just fold over for you. And let's see, I think I'm going to leave my sides like this and not taper them off. So we've got that. We've thought about that. Let's put a little piece of paper right here. Nope, all my scrap pieces are too short. So we'll do this right here. And I know I have it upside down right now, but I will turn it in a minute. Okay, I am going to round these little corners, I think, just because I like that look. And you can do rounded, you can do cut at an angle, you can do whatever. I'm just going to round mine, and then I'm going to round these. And I'm using my 1/2 inch rounder on here. And then that's going to glue right there. Now, I'm not going to cover the inside of mine because most of that's not going to show once you get your little bits and pieces put in here. So, I'm just going to leave it as is. And once I start putting that journal together, I will show you how I'm going to stitch this in. Look at that, Edith. You got to put it the right way up. That works. Okay. So there we have that. Oh yes, I like that. I like that a lot. So that will go that way. And we need to put a little closure on here. And I think I'm just going to do it like a, like my little buttons and a little string around it. I think I'm going to do that instead of anything else. I don't know. Let me think about that for a minute. Nope, I changed my mind. I'm going to do magnets. Magnets are going to be quick and easy and so easy to get to. So let's do some magnets. With magnets, you can just pop it open and flip it back down, and you don't have to, worry about getting that string back around it and all that. Since it's going to be in the back of the journal, I think the magnets will work better. And we have these magnets in the store. Every time I use them, I try to tell everybody that, but I always have somebody that says, "Where did you get those magnets?" We do have them in our store. They're the basic gray magnets. Just look for magnetic disc is what they're called. The company calls them. And they have the sticky already on them. There we go. Okay. And then let's see. I'm going to just close that about right there, I think. That should work. Looks pretty even. Then it just closes down like that. Right, I will go ahead and glue this piece just on here, on this one side, and then when we stitch it in our signature, we'll glue the other side down. So I'm going to put a little glue right up through here, and up through here. Right, so that will still expand out. And we've got our little piece right there. You can put a little tab on that if you want. I may once I get it done for the journal. And see, when those two sides glue together, you've got lots of room. Let me hold this back. When those glue together, you've got lots of room in there for your goodies. And then it will close back up like that. And it will stitch right behind here. There is your little expandable folio to go in the back of your journal. And you can put these in between. If you're doing 2 signatures, you can put one in the middle, signature on either side, and then have that to where it will expand out like that. And that will be really neat too. You've got lots and lots of room. All right, guys, I think that's the video for today. I may, when I put it in the journal, I may do a little bit of extra embellishing on it. I don't know. I really like the way it looks right now. I will put some different inks and things on here probably once I put it in there. But right now, I think I'm just going to put it with this signature and it will be ready to go. And like I said, I will show you how I stitch it in once I get ready to stitch that signature in. And that should be probably by Wednesday of this week. All right, we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.